Gotham, and Merry Christmas. I hope you're watching Batman. This one's for you.
Laser moon control initiated. Parade override engaged.
What the hell was that?
Bruce, you didn't get him a gift certificate.
No. Cash.
Yeah, can I help you?
Yes, we're looking for the legendary Kevin Bacon.
We're looking for the legendary Kevin Bacon.
I just said that, Drax.
Jill, there's just no way to explain the devastation right now, as the Life Day Parade turned Christmas Parade turned massacre unfolds before us. Both Life Day and Christmas have been ruined forever by...
Data! Hologram! Now!
Let me switch that. There we are. Hello, and welcome to another episode of Bat Dan's Discussions, and welcome to the first full episode of Crime at Christmas Time 2025. That's assuming there's no tech issues today. But sorry about yesterday, for those of you who saw that. Was trying to get a stream up, had some technical issues, so I wanted to get you a stream today, and there's a lot to talk about, a potential Christmas miracle. So, to discuss this potential Christmas miracle, please welcome as I bring on ZodWriter. How are you, man?
Oh, I'm doing okay. I'm happy to be here. I want to say hello to Mad's Mama Bear in the chat, aka Ruby Sanderson of One Punch Dan. I am so excited every time I see a cast member of One Punch Dan pop up in any chat, in any forum. It's so exciting to me, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. And especially Mama Bear, because I know Mama Bear has an exciting role in this movie.
Yes, she does. I cannot wait for everybody to see this movie. Speaking of Mama Bear, yes, Mama Bear has some incredible stuff going on in this movie. We've got Jeffrey Warfield in the chat, and you know it was funny because Jeffrey was at one of the screenings that I did, since we're talking about the One Punch Dan cinematic universe. He was at one of the screenings I did when I showed the first, when I was showing like the first 45 minutes of the movie. And, it was nice to have him in there and get some of his feedback and see what he thought. A lot of different, getting a lot of different people's opinions on different things and stuff. And honestly, man, I am excited to finally be at a point where I can take a little bit of a break, take a little bit of a breather, because I'm far enough along now where I'm just sort of coasting to the end of the movie, finishing up some things, and then coasting into the release, which will be in January or February. So I'm pretty excited.
I am too, because I do have to remind you guys, there's one major cast member, probably the most major cast member, who has not seen a single minute of this movie, and that is this guy, One Punch Dan himself, because ZodWriter's offered to show it me the first 45 minutes, but I told him, no, I want to see the movie for the first time the way it's intended to be, from beginning to end.
Yeah, you're going to get to see the true vision of the movie from beginning to end after all the decisions and edits and things have been made. So I am super excited. And it's great. I mean, I've been, and speaking of somebody else, since we're on the topic of the One Punch Dan cinematic universe, I want to give a shout out to the good Austin, who also has a role in the One Punch Dan movie, and I'm excited, and I can't wait for him to see it as well, because he does play a character in this movie, and I am just so hyped up and so excited. I can't not be happy with the way all of this is turning out, with the way this movie. It feels, you know what it feels like, Bat Dan? It feels like finally, okay, like all that solitary work that I've put in over the last couple of years has finally paid off. I feel like I've been working on this movie for like 30 years, and it's like to finally be at a point where I can take a breather and say, you know what, it's cool, it's almost done, it's winding down, I'm finishing it up, and I can just get excited and be able to like come on streams like this and talk about it and not feel stressed out, because there used to be a time where I would come on a stream and I would talk about One Punch Dan, and I'd get extremely stressed out because it's been so much work and so much crazy stuff. So it's great, man. I'm like super excited.
Absolutely. And you could say it's almost like Christmas. the movie's coming out. It's almost like Christmas.
Yeah, it feels that way. It does have kind of a Christmassy feel to it now, knowing that it's like and what's making me so really excited is knowing that I'll have the movie done, probably have the movie done before Christmas. It'll probably be done before Christmas, which will be great, which will allow for friends and family to be able to see this movie, will allow for you to be able to come to my place and physically watch the movie with me. It will allow for all of our friends and colleagues to watch the movie. See, and you understand, Austin, because you do a lot of great work. You do a lot of editing. You do a lot of great stuff. You totally get how that is. So yeah, you could relate to that. And that's what I'm saying, man. It's like at some point you have to decompress and you just have to be like, okay, I'm good. Okay, I'm finally here. I can finally breathe. I can finally be happy. I can finally get, parts of my life back that I have had to neglect. And that's what I mean. A project like this, it's a lot of sacrifice. You sacrifice a lot of time, effort, and money and all kinds of things that you put into it to try to get it done. But at the end of the day, I believe it's gonna be worth it. And my only goal throughout this entire One Punch Dan movie project was to honor this community and honor the legacy of the late great Mikey Sutton. So I feel like I have succeeded in doing that, and therefore it will be all worthwhile in the end. Now I gotta find a time, to screen it for Mikey's sister and his nephew and all that. I got to work it out with them when they want to see the movie, because I want them to see the movie before it goes public as well. So I want them to get a chance to see it and get to see Mikey's character and all his glory and all that. So there's all these, different things I'm working on now behind the scenes to try to arrange. So we'll see where that goes.
I can't wait. I cannot wait, and especially to honor Mikey too. So absolutely. And just want to say quickly, I totally agree with you, Austin, on this comment right now, especially after what happened on yesterday's stream.
Yeah. Yesterday's stream was just crazy with the way that the StreamYard and the internet can be. It's just ridiculous, Exactly. But thankfully, we probably won't have that issue, Bat Dad, unless the snow knocks us out.
and again, for a reminder, for people who don't know, we're both in the Chicago area, so
right, exactly. So snow is a thing. So
but it's nice to have it during Christmas time. But anyways, now latest news on WBD sale latest WBD sale updates. Could we get a sale by Christmas time? So we had an interesting article come out today. And oh wait, I just hit the wrong button to share screen. Here we are. So let me scroll back to the top, but Netflix submits enormous cash offer for Warner Brothers Discovery in second round of bids. So, yet another twist has came our way regarding the impending sale of Warner Brothers Discovery. As one of the biggest companies in entertainment, WBD has attracted several powerful buyers to submit bids on its assets. November 20th, first round offers were held, which include Netflix, Paramount, Skydance, and Comcast. Sales said bids were non-binding. Following that, Warner Brothers requested a second round. Offers expected to be higher than ones initially submitted. Yep, because that's how it works. You don't go with your first offer in any sale. This is not just with Warner Brothers. This is just with anything.
I'd like to add though, before you continue on this,
okay,
is that executives love cash. So the fact that Netflix is putting cash on the table, that's a really, really good thing.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like I said, Netflix. I mean, we said before, Netflix has more money than Paramount and Comcast. There's only one rival I'm really concerned about in terms of Netflix getting this, and I really don't want this other organization to get it for many reasons. But, anyways. But yeah, thank you, Zod. I really do appreciate you bringing it up because that's a really great point. It's now come to light that the second round involved a particularly important bid from previous unlikely buyer, Netflix. Streaming giants submitted a mostly cash offer per the studio. Per sources, Netflix is working on a bridge loan for the bid, which is said to be tens of billions of dollars. So, yep, these bids are important because unlike previous ones, are binding. So that's really interesting. Now these bids are binding, which allows for the board of directors to approve a deal should it be desired so. It's worth noting that the second round offers are not final and could be more coming the company's ways if terms are considered attractive enough. So basically, you're just kind of basically saying Comcast, yeah, they work through bankers. Comcast, Paramount, and Netflix bankers work through Thanksgiving weekends to prepare bids. And the amount of offered by Netflix makes sense, given Paramount said they would have offered to buy WBD for $60 billion. And of course, they're surprised because people doubt Netflix and they thought they were trying to drive the price for Paramount. And Netflix could have the new owner, which not. Sin Havoc's in the chat. Sin Havoc, I did not say this. This article says merger. I am not saying merger. This article is saying merger, just so you know. I know you're... Wait, what am I learning this time, Sin Havoc? I know I'm learning a lot of things this year. And what up, Bishop?
We got Bishop in the chat. Another great cast member in the One Punch Dad movie, I must add. The other great character in the film. Just the whole chat is filled with One Punch Dan characters. We got Sin Havoc is in the chat too. I mean, hey.
And no Scrooge comments in the chat tonight.
When you said that, you actually sounded like a Scrooge.
Well,
that
actually,
was funny. That was so funny. That was really funny, Bad Dad.
That's not the first time that's happened to me, is that when I try so hard not to be a Scrooge, I ended up looking like a Scrooge. Because one time when I was flying with my family on Christmas, and I wore green and a red hat because I wanted to look like Santa, I wore green for Christmas colors. Unfortunately, though, Zod, I didn't think about this. It was kind of a lighter green, kind of like a lime green. So that one of the airport people said I looked like the Grinch.
Either the Grinch or you were auditioning for a Mountain Dew commercial. One of the two.
Anyways, so basically they just kind of recap that Netflix does plan to continue releasing films theatrically. Should they acquire, I know it doesn't say acquire in the article, but Sin Havoc will kill me. And because we know Netflix has been warming up to the idea of movies in theaters. I mean, I saw a Netflix movie in theaters, plus Stranger Things is coming out in theaters. So,
well, what are they going to do? We're going to do they're going to do a marathon, or is it going to be like a movie or something?
It's like the last episode is going to be released theatrically, not all, but the last one or two.
Okay, because I don't know. I checked out of Stranger Things in season 2, so I couldn't tell you the first thing about it. That's why I was asking, because I have no idea. So
I still need to catch up myself, but yeah, and I'm not 100% sure either. But basically, just Paramount's been quite aggressive and considering a hostile bid, and then so basically here, much like Netflix, Comcast is seeking the studio assets, which
have they talked about the fact that the president of the United States wants Paramount to be able to acquire it? I mean, are they talking about that in that article at all? I know I saw a couple of articles that the president is kind of like leaning. He really wants Paramount to get it, so I think he's going to give extra, maybe give some extra help to Paramount or something in some way. I read an article like that somewhere, and I didn't know if maybe this article covered that or not.
No, but I've heard that. I've heard stuff about that too.
Yeah, and I didn't know how much of that, how much of that is factual versus how much of that is, made up, or how much of it is, it's hard to say. Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to get too far into my thoughts on that because I don't want to get too political with that. Obviously, the president does come up in something like this, so he's not going to be completely ignored. And I hate StreamYard's new feature of taking the banners down after 10 seconds. I wish StreamYard's been doing a lot of stupid features lately. That's been really irritating. And it's not letting me leave the banner up. But basically, I think one thing that's safe to say is I think we will get something by Christmas time, in my opinion. I think based on this, whether it's the president helping Paramount or Netflix buying Warner Brothers outright, I think that we will get something by Christmas, in my opinion. What about you?
Yeah, I'm in agreement with you. I think we're going to hear something soon because it seems like, I think it was Zaslav himself who was saying that they wanted to have an idea by early December, if I'm not mistaken. They wanted to pretty much have an idea of who was buying it and how things were going to go. So, I mean, we'll see. But I agree. I think by Christmas we should at least know something.
And I'm hoping it's Netflix. I mean, honestly, I do think Netflix is the best bet. And, it's funny. Here's one counter argument for Paramount that I don't agree with. People keep saying, well, Paramount's most likely to get it because they want to buy all of Warner Brothers Discovery, not just the streaming and studio assets. But
yeah, but you could like split those. You could split those assets up, though. Netflix doesn't have to take those assets. I mean, if Paramount wants those other assets, why can't Paramount get those?
That's another good point too.
I don't understand why it has to be an all or nothing kind of a deal. Why can't Paramount come in and get that stuff? I mean, that Paramount would have more to gain because they got that, because isn't CBS part of Paramount, and they've got, so they could logically they could acquire that part of it without it impacting Netflix at all, because Netflix is not doing that. Netflix is a streamer. So I don't know. To me, it just would make sense to split that stuff up. But what do I know? I mean,
I think that could very well happen, honestly. I think Paramount could get the Discovery Global portion of it. And because here's what people need to remember. It doesn't matter if Paramount wants to buy all of Warner Brothers Discovery, because at the end of the day, money is what matters. If Netflix is offering more money for less product, that's a better deal. And if they can still get Paramount to buy the remaining part of it, that's an even better deal. So
yeah, and you would think Paramount would want Discovery more so because they've already got a network. They've already got infrastructure for that. So that's...
Yeah, I also heard Sin Havoc. Didn't Netflix say something about wanting to pay off Warner Brothers' debts? Because if that's part of it too, then...
Yeah, that would be huge. That would be huge.
And I still think Netflix is the best bet for the Snyderverse, and just for DC in general.
I have a feeling, and this is just me, I have a feeling that we're going to get the Snyderverse no matter who gets it. I just feel like no matter what, I feel like for some reason, Zack is going to emerge on top regardless.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I'm not even doubting at this point. The way Zack has been posting.
Oh yeah, and we'll get into that a lot more later, but absolutely. My concern, honestly, Zod, is stuff outside of the Snyderverse with other companies. Like, I don't want Paramount or Universal to get Warner Brothers, because then we get the problem. We get one less theatrical studio out there. And I don't want a certain country's government getting Warner Brothers, because
Well, yeah, isn't that what the primary chatter is, that they're going to be involved no matter what. They're going to back whoever. They're going to literally back whoever gets Warner Brothers. They're going to be involved in some way, and that is why Zack is so aggressively posting the way that he is, because he knows regardless of what company actually ends up on top, he is going to emerge, and the Snyderverse is going to be, is going to be the game, is going to be the DC game all over again. So that's how I feel about it. I feel like they're gonna that government that you're talking about isn't going to have a full stake. They're not going to out and out own Warner Brothers, but they are going to help. They are going to put money into it, regardless of what studio picks it up. So essentially, that will be able to ensure, that's like insurance for Zack Snyder, because Zack Snyder has a good relationship with them. So that's insurance for Zack Snyder, that Zack Snyder will come out on top, and we're going to get the Snyderverse regardless of who gets this. That's why I'm not so invested anymore as to what company actually picks it up, because I know in the end we are going to get what we want. We're going to get that. We're going to get the Snyderverse. We're going to get more of what Zack is doing, and let's be honest, they got to do it. I saw an article. I saw somebody on Twitter X trying to justify. I actually think it was somebody from Forbes. He was trying to justify why whatever company picks up Warner Brothers, why they would keep James Gunn and Peter Safran as head of DC. And he literally was talking about stuff. He was literally pulling stuff out of his butt. Like, he was like pulling out all these numbers that don't exist, that are not verifiable, are not true. He was saying all these things about Superman doing all these numbers that it didn't do. And then he went as far as to say, well, because Superman was a success, they're better off allowing Safran and Gunn to stay the course. Everybody is excited about what they're doing. Everybody's excited about their direction. And I'm thinking, what world are you living in? Literally nobody outside of the small, minute James Gunn fan base is asking for James Gunn to continue. Everybody else wants James Gunn out of there. Nobody is asking for that. Nobody's even watching the stuff that James Gunn is putting out. I'm like, these guys are living in a completely different world from the rest of us, Batman. And so so that's why I say I'm kind of at the point where I have enough faith and I have enough belief. And I know I shared with you the dream that I had not too long ago with regards to Zack Snyder announcing that the Snyderverse was back. But my whole point is that, if it's true that, that Saudi Arabia is going to back up whatever company purchases, it's a big reason for that, and a big reason for that interest is because of their investment in Zack Snyder. So they would be backing up whatever studio, and that is essentially insurance for Zack, because Zack is going to come back and is going to finish what he started. So I'm not worried about the Snyderverse anymore. To me now, it's just a numbers game. Whoever puts out the bigger payout is going to be the winner. And I feel like if it's Netflix, that's great. That's great. That's for us. That's what we wanted all along. But if it's another company, we still win, because Zack is going to come out on top. And as long as Zack comes out on top, it doesn't matter what company gets it.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, my concerns is mostly outside of the Snyderverse at this point in terms of who gets Warner Brothers. But and Sin Havoc, I can live with Saudi Arabia backing it up. I just don't want them to outright own.
No, yeah, they're not saying that they're going to outright own it. They're saying that they're just going to back up whoever whoever does, they're gonna have a stake in the company, so they're gonna have a stake in it, so they're gonna be able to have some say in what, in like creative projects and things like that. So that's why I think Zach has been, posting the way that he has, Zach has been posting like a madman. So it would make sense. It would just make so much sense. And then, oh my God, I'm sure we'll get to it later, so I don't want to say too much else.
Okay, sounds good. So, yeah, we'll move on then, because speaking of Zack Snyder posts, I want to kind of just quickly highlight some of his pictures from the last photograph. And again, guys, just so you know, you will see some other stuff in there because I can't filter those out. We'll talk about some of those other images later. So, for now, we're just going to show we're just going to show the last photograph photos. That's such a tongue twister. Last photograph photos. But so
I can't wait for this movie. I'm really excited to see what he's going to do here.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So I'm guessing this is a set from the last photograph. And that's Zack Snyder himself. And then we'll show some of that here. Let me just.
Right, you had a little bit of Sucker Punch in there, which we still haven't gotten. We still haven't gotten Zack Snyder's true vision for Sucker Punch, the Snyder Punch. We still haven't gotten that yet. So hopefully we'll get that someday too. But this is, this is looking
absolutely.
Good. Yeah, this is looking good.
Yeah, I'm seeing another shot of Stuart Martin.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so, yeah, Zack Snyder's been posting. And then just another shot a little earlier. I don't remember this. I showed this one before, but I'm just saying, last photograph looks like it's going to be a really good movie, a really well shot movie. So I'm excited for that. And, oh, yeah, yep, we showed that one earlier on an earlier stream. So, absolutely. And then I'm kind of glad you brought up Sucker Punch because, okay, so hold on a second. Let me just edit this scroll time for StreamYard. StreamYard basically defaulted a timed post, which is really irritating. But anyways, see, I'm having my own battle with StreamYard, not the one Sox had, but I'm still having my own battle. But anyways, Zack Snyder's other movie pictures. So, yep, here we go. Sucker Punch in all its glory. Which you wonder, Zack posting about Sucker Punch, could the Snyder Punch be in the mix?
I would assume so.
So I do have a major sin I'm going to say on here, and I know people are going to get really angry with me for saying this. I have not yet seen Sucker Punch.
Yeah, but it's not Snyder's true version anyway. So you're not. They butchered it. The studio butchered Sucker Punch. So you're not really missing much unless you. And like the extended version of Sucker Punch is a little bit better, but it's still not what Zack Snyder intended for Sucker Punch. And it's a very psychological, cerebral movie, which is why I'm really hoping that we get to see Zack's true vision for the movie at some point. Because it's very well shot. It's a very nice looking movie, to say the least. I mean, if you like watching badass chicks, running around fighting and kicking butt, I mean, you'll definitely enjoy it just from a visual perspective. But the studio severely watered it down. But you should at least watch it to kind of give yourself a little bit of an idea. But as far as like being Zack's true vision, it's like they kept Zack's style and they took all the real substantive stuff out of it, is what they basically did. which is why it's lacking and it's not as highly rated as it should be. That's for sure.
Understandable, 100%. That's how a lot of Zack's movies are. Even, I don't want to get too far into this because I have another show for this kind of topic, but Rebel Moon, Zack Snyder even posted a Rebel Moon shot. So,
oh yeah, shout out to Rebel Moon Theory, yes, who is keeping the fire burning for the Rebel Moon universe, which we know we're going to get more of these movies too. That's another thing I'm tired of seeing on these social media accounts. People talking about how Rebel Moon is dead and that there's not going to be any more Rebel Moon and all this stuff. It's like, how do you know? Where are you getting your information from? For real.
I mean, Zack Snyder is literally busy with other projects, including one for Netflix.
For real. And not only that, if what we believe is true, he's gearing up for another run. He's gearing up for another DC run. So he's going to be pretty busy for a while. That doesn't mean he's going to completely abandon Rebel Moon either.
Exactly. I mean, to me, the reason why I think the DC one is more important in the short term is because that's the one we've been waiting for the longest. But I'll say this, if we were waiting for Rebel Moon longer than the DC, I would be saying I want the Rebel Moon stuff first. So,
but see, the difference is, okay, Rebel Moon is Zack's own thing. Zack came up with Rebel Moon completely. So Zack can go back to Rebel Moon anytime he wants. He's kind of got a limited time frame to work in now if he wants to try and get his DC storyline finished up. Because I mean, let's be honest, our heroes are not getting any younger. And the longer as the years go on, it's going to get, it's not going to get easier to cast them. So he's going to want to finish his story as soon as he can. And he knows that. And we know that. And they know that. And they've all said that they want to come back. So it's not a problem. I don't know about you, but another thing I'm getting really tired of seeing too is all these people calling for animated Snyderverse movies. I mean, I'm getting so tired of that too. Mm-hmm. That's another thing that's like grinding my gears to the core. Like, we don't want animated movies. We know that the actors are aging, which is why we want Zack to finish what he's doing now, so that these can happen. It's not that hard to figure out, But that's the thing. You wait too much longer. I mean, honestly, you wait another 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 more years, then you really will be waiting, and you really will be at the point where you'll say, well, gee, maybe we should just do animated movies like they're talking about with Smallville, because Tom Welling doesn't look like Superman anymore.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
Tom Welling knows he can't play Superman. Have you seen the way he looks? He's as bald as I am. I'm telling you right now. I'm like, that is gonna if they and they keep talking, and it's so funny how they keep talking about that Smallville animated revival as though James Gunn is actually going to allow that to happen. They better hope that WB gets bought up soon, because James Gunn is not allowing any projects but his to go through as long as he remains in charge. So you won't get, if you want to get a Smallville animated thing, you're not going to get that until the new owners come in. Period.
And too bad the Smallville cast and crew turned me off Smallville with some of their comments. So
not only that, some of their comments, some of their actions, some of the actions of some of the cast members. It's ridiculous. Oh my God. That's like they all fell from grace. All of them.
And I'll say, even the one that got arrested, I'll just say this. At least I was almost like, well, at least she faced accountability. And now I'm kind of like, did she though now? Did she? I mean, they're kind of platforming.
Yeah, there's a good chance she might get some roles in the very near future. So I don't know how much, accountability she actually faced. But then you got to figure, I think Tom Welling just got arrested recently for a DUI.
That was months ago, but still.
Was that months ago? I don't know. I just
Yeah.
saw an article not too long ago, so I didn't know.
Yeah, that was a while ago, but that's still not good. Like that's still not good. So
And I'm also getting tired of all these people talking about, for Grant Gustin to replace Ezra Miller as the Snyderverse Flash. I'm getting sick and tired of that too,
hold
because I'm
on
seeing
to
that,
one.
seeing that everywhere. It's terrible. It's getting terrible.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because we kind of have a way that's going to come up very soon. So hold on to that thought. But
Okay, cool.
But
Yeah,
anyways,
because I love talking about that because I hate that so much.
But anyways, Zack Snyder has posted even more photos of Batman and Superman, but also one of these Superman photos have Amy Adams in it. And hold on, I hit the wrong button for share screen again. Share screen, Instagram. So I want to start with the one that. Okay, where was that one? Because he posted. Was this the one he posted on 11? No, that was December 16th. He posted a Batman photo on December 17th, I thought. Am I just going crazy?
He's been posting so much. It's like this is like Vero all over again. And everybody's saying, Zach, you should have got on Instagram years ago. For real. It's like everybody's following Zach, even the haters.
Well, I don't think I showed this one on a stream. So here's Zack Snyder posting what's obviously Bruce Wayne's home. And then here's a great shot of Superman.
Yeah, I love that one. I remember when he posted that one on Vero.
And then another shot of Batman.
That's awesome.
One of my favorite photos of Batman. Oh, nope. Don't want to. And then he loves those Batman photos.
Truly the greatest Batman of all time. I mean, it's not even close. It's like for real. There it is. There's the yeah, there they are. And look who got credit for the photo. Aw.
Photo by Clark Kent. But still, I mean, I'm just saying, if Zach thought that Amy Adams was going to get recast, do you think that he would have posted a photo of them together?
He's not recasting nobody, and he's proving that he's not recasting anybody.
Yep. Oh, I'm really glad you said that, because that's before we segue to that, though. I'm just saying those two, great chemistry, and just a reminder to people, Zack Snyder did adjust the story 10 years. He did that for a reason.
It kind of reminds me of Ruby and the Cordovan Speedster from One Punch Man. I'm just saying.
And you know what, Mama Bear? I'm going to star that comment because I can agree. If you're talking live action, Ben Affleck all the way. But if we're talking about any Batman, Kevin Conroy, Arkhamverse Kevin Conroy competes against Ben Affleck's Batman. Because I love the DCAU, and I think it was good. I have no criticism of it, but it was there were certain restrictions they had because they were for kids. So that's why I like the Arkhamverse version of those characters better, because you still got the great Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill, but they're less filtered for kids, in my opinion. Even Mark Hamill's even made a comment about that, too. Like, he even said it was different playing Joker in the Arkhamverse because he could do whatever, and there were no...
Absolutely, yeah.
And again, this is no hate towards the DCAU. It had its target audience, and it's still enjoyable for adults. Make no mistake. I'm not saying it's childish, but there was definitely some stuff here and there.
Well, you're talking about Batman the Animated Series?
Yeah.
That Batman the Animated Series walked that very fine line where they were trying to keep it family friendly, but still maintaining the tone. And I think they did a marvelous job, all things considered. They could have. I mean, because it could have been a travesty. I mean, if they didn't if they didn't do what they did. And I think they took it as far as they could too, all things considered.
Oh yeah, absolutely. No, I absolutely agree with you 100%. And again, so like I'm just saying, I just like the Arkhamverse better just because they didn't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
But still, the DCAU is some of the greatest television ever. So absolutely, I agree with you, Mama Bear. Kevin Conroy and Ben Affleck. Those are my two Batman.
Yep. Couldn't agree more.
It actually was his birthday yesterday, even, Kevin Conroy. He would have been 70 years old. But still. Anyways, great photos all around. And now here's one that's going to piss a lot of people off. So hold on, let me just unshare my screen and reshare real quick. I'm just going to get this photo up before I show. Zack Snyder post about Amber Heard. I'm really glad you said that earlier, Zod, that Zack proves that he's not recasting anybody. If there was anyone who had the biggest chance of being recast, it was this person right here, for being honest. And Zack Snyder has posted a photo of Amber Heard on Instagram. Oh, I had to add a stage. Okay. So here we are. Amber Heard of Mira. Zack didn't have to do this. Zack could have, if he was recasting Amber Heard, he didn't have to do this. I mean, we're talking about Ezra Miller so much, but let's be honest. She is way more controversial than Ezra Miller. Her stuff was made a lot more public than Ezra Miller. And Zack Snyder.
Well, the Ezra Miller stuff was unfortunately made public enough. It was covered enough by all the wrong places.
Oh, I'm not saying it's not. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that between the two, this one's a lot more known, is all I'm saying.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's more than one. Sin Havoc, I'm only counting recent posts by Zack Snyder right now, okay? That are made public. If more are coming, great. But I'm only counting what's seen publicly right now by Zack Snyder in recent years. I'm not talking about stuff that came out before all that stuff. And it's funny. A lot of people were surprised by this. And I had a comment. No one should be surprised by this because there was actually an article that came out in 2023 before Rebel Moon came out. And I want to show this article because I think it's just a reminder. Now, this came out 2 years ago, but I don't think anything really with the Amber Heard situation changed from now since then. So here is what Zack Snyder said. In promoting Rebel Moon, mind you, he's promoting a movie for Netflix. The title says Zack Snyder doesn't get why some people don't like Amber Heard. I would work with her in a second. And he said, and this is what he said. I just don't get her. Other people don't like her. I don't know what to say. I would work with her in a second, said Rebel Moon director. And also, here he also praises Ezra Miller, who underwent several mental health struggles and public scandals in recent years. Snyder said that Miller did a great job in the Flash movie. It's very difficult to play against yourself. But Zack Snyder said this 2 years ago, guys, that he would work with Amber Heard. So this shouldn't have been a shock to anyone, but here he's showing Zod. He's showing more and more of the cast of Justice League, and what I love about this is that he's basically saying right here, like you said, I'm not recasting anybody, guys. Even Amber Heard saying.
Yeah, and I'm sure it'll make you happy when you see a Billy Crudup picture.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But I'm just saying, guys, if he's keeping Amber Heard, you really think he's recasting Ezra Miller with Grant Gustin?
Yeah, those posts are brutal.
I'm going to just say this right now. Grant Gustin is an overrated knockoff. He did a great job for what CW wanted. I will say that. But in terms of movie quality acting,
yeah, he's not a movie guy. He's a TV actor. I mean, let's be real.
Yeah, he's not that great, honestly. He's just, I mean, And again, I don't hate Grant Gustin. I just hate the way that his fans have propped him up as like the best thing ever. That's what irritates me. Like, I'm not. Here's the thing: I'm not asking for Henry Cavill to be Superman in every iteration outside the Snyderverse. As much as I love Henry Cavill as Superman, I'm not saying.
Yeah, well, as long as we don't get replace Ezra Miller hashtags, I'll be happy.
And Bishop, I agree with you. I 100% agree with you. And I'm gonna get some other to some of these other comments that I'm glad you brought up, but I will say this: I didn't like Aquaman 2, but this may be a hot take. I actually thought Amber Heard was the best part of that movie for the 10 minutes that she was in.
Yeah, she put her acting into it. So
She did a good job as Mira, and I liked her in the Snyder Cut.
And Jason Momoa, honestly, in that movie, just hammed it up as Aquaman. He didn't really put anything into it, but she actually acted. So,
and Mama Bear, I can agree with this 100%. I love Grant, but he wouldn't fit in the Snyderverse. I can agree with that wholeheartedly. And again, I'm not against seeing Grant Gustin as the Flash again, just not in the Snyderverse. And I'm not saying he was that bad, Bishop. What I'm saying is that he was not like this phenomenal actor who should be the Flash in all the movies. That's what I'm saying. When I say his fans have pissed me off more. I think he did good for the CW. I think for what he was assigned, he did great with. I'm just saying he's not this phenomenal actor who should be the Flash in all the movies. That's why I say he's an overrated knockoff, because of how much they've been hyping him up. But yeah, Amber Heard, guys, Zack Snyder's gonna work with her again. Oh, wow. Hey, see, I'm not this bad. I'm not as bad as Sin Havoc here. Sin Havoc hates Grant. Wow. Like, again, I don't hate Grant Gustin.
He's as bad as Michael Rosenbaum as the Flash.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, I know. I mean, I did enjoy him in Justice League the Animated Series and Unlimited. Unfortunately, his behavior just kind of pissed me off, though. Yeah, I agree with Bishop. I love Jason Momoa as Aquaman in the Snyder Cut, and I love him as Aquaman in the first movie. But Aquaman Lost Kingdom, he
was playing Jason Momoa, just like in that Fast and the Furious movie he was in. He was just playing a villainous version of Jason Momoa. It was the same acting. It was the same thing. I was like, wow.
I'll just say this to Jason Momoa. He's an actor who I think needs a good director. Like, I think when he's under Snyder, absolutely. And I still want him back as Aquaman under Snyder.
Yeah.
And maybe when James Wan isn't giving stupid studio notes, even then. But
well, I'm just hoping he doesn't get tarnished and we don't end up seeing, because I feel like if we see him as Lobo in an upcoming James Gunn movie, I think that's going to kind of taint him a little bit.
Yeah, we'll see if that actually happens. So
yeah.
But if anything, it will make him cheaper to work with too. But Sin Havoc, just to clarify, I'm not saying that, like, I know there are posts out there, but I didn't see them posted by Zack Snyder. That's all I'm saying. If I want to see the post actually on Zack Snyder's account. That's what I'm talking about. If I don't see it on the account, then, and you know what, Mama Bear, thank you. Iris irritated me so much in that show. Not season 1, not season 2, not even season 3. But season 4, We Are the Flash, and her whole storyline with Nora pissed me off. Like, I'm sorry. You do not put a microchip in an adult's body and not tell them about it. That is not okay. That is not ethical. There is no excuse for that. And then it's this whole notion that Iris had to be perfect. Like, she could have had, like, actual character flaws, but it's like, no. She has to be perfect. We can't say that she's a bad mom in the slightest. We can't say that she does anything wrong. I mean, technically, we're also got race-swapped Iris in the Snyder Cut, too, if we're going to be technical. But, I mean, I don't blame them for race swapping Wally in that show because they had to because Iris was race swapped and Iris was supposed to be her aunt, his aunt, not his brother, his sister. My God, I'm bad at these.
The only race swap that bothered me in the CW was when they race swapped Jimmy Olsen, and not even because they race swapped Jimmy Olsen, but just because of the way that they made the Jimmy Olsen character so dramatically different from the way Jimmy Olsen is as a character. That was my whole problem with it. Like, he wasn't like, it's like casting it's like you casted you casted Michael Jordan to play Steve Urkel. I mean, there really isn't. It's really not quite a. I mean, okay, I can understand you loving him, Mama Bear, for obvious reasons, but what I didn't like was just the fact that he was so different in characterization from the Jimmy Olsen that we knew. Not even like personality traits and that kind of stuff. He didn't really come off. He was too confident. He was too self-assured. He was too suave and kind of like what James Gunn. James Gunn went the extreme with Jimmy Olsen and basically turned him into Leisure Suit Larry. But that's but that's another story. I mean, what I don't get is people love these versions of Jimmy Olsen, but they complain about how Zack Snyder did Jimmy Olsen in BVS. I mean, at least Zack Snyder did something different, and he didn't like go to like some of the bigger extremes that these other people did. I mean, I don't know.
And also Jimmy Olsen is actually in the Snyder cuts, and he's technically in Justice League too, just not the character Jimmy Olsen. You know that police officer that Lois Lane gives coffee to?
Yeah. That was Jimmy Olsen from the Donner movies.
Yep.
That was Mark
McClure.
Mark McClure. Yeah. And it's definitely it's so funny because you saw the role that he got in the Snyder cut, and you saw how they did him in the in Joss Whedon's version, where he had that joke, and he's like, "Are those prescription, or are you just trying to look brainy?" You remember that joke where he was talking to the prisoner with the marker glasses from the Flash. Yeah,
that was Mark McClure.
Yeah, that was him.
Oh God!
Are those prescription? Or are you just trying to look brainy? He was the cop that said that line.
I know he was in that version, but I thought that was all footage from Zack Snyder. God damn it!
No, that wasn't a Zack Snyder scene. That was a.
Well, no, I know that wasn't. I just didn't realize that was that actor.
That was a reshoot from Joss Whedon.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I know. I just didn't realize that was that actor in that scene.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was god awful.
Anyways, what did I do, Batman? Whatever. Oh, are you mad because I said God damn it? Yeah, I say that a lot. Anyways, say anyways a lot. Anyway, point is, Amber Heard, Zack Snyder will use her, and Zack Snyder will use Ezra Miller, and I cannot wait for the Ezra Miller post, because when that happens, all hell is raining loose from Batman's thoughts. I'm telling you right now, when I see Zack Snyder post about Ezra Miller, all hell is raining loose.
Well, yeah, because the haters are going to be in full force underneath that one.
Yep. And I have a lot to say about that. But now let's get to the big topic. Zack Snyder encourages us to watch ZSJL, Justice is Gray. So let's share my screen one last time. We'll switch from Amber Heard to... This happened yesterday. Well, yesterday if you're watching this live. If you're watching this a week from now, it didn't happen yesterday. But anyways, It's the perfect night to watch the black and white cut of Zack Snyder's Justice League on HBO Max. Justice is great. Turn the lights down, turn the volume up. Justice is Gray, Snyder cut, which I will watch Justice is Gray this week for Zack Snyder, but kind of interesting that he's encouraging us to watch Justice League on HBO Max right now.
I was going to say, Bad Dan, I have a theory about that. And this is another reason why I think the writing is on the wall, and whoever ends up owning WB in the end, Zack is coming back for sure. Because when's the last time Zack has promoted anything on WB? When's the last time Zack has come out and actually name dropped HBO Max? The last time Zack actually name dropped HBO Max was in 2021 when the Snyder Cut was announced. So this is why I say no matter who buys it, no matter who picks it up, Zack is coming back, and he knows he's coming back, and that's why he's doing this. Because he was not posting anything that had to do with Warner Brothers. So this is kind of like, to me, I felt like this was our biggest clue yet, that no matter what, Zack is safe.
And before I respond to that, Sin Havoc question: is that going to be a separate subscription on Netflix? Now, what you said, Zod, that's a good point. I didn't even think about that. You're right, because he's promoted watching the movie, sure, but buying it on Vudu, or maybe if it was when the movies were on Netflix, but good. Sin Havoc, good, because I don't want to spend more money. But yep, that's a good point. But yeah, absolutely.
Exactly.
So
no matter, right, exactly. So like Austin says, Netflix is buying HBO Max. Exactly. Whoever buys WB, whoever buys them, Zack is going to be safe regardless. And Zack knows it. So Zack is posting and telling people to go. Why else would he be telling you to go to HBO Max to watch something? It's just obviously he can't tell you to go to Netflix to watch it because it's not on Netflix. But my thing is he's mentioning HBO Max. So it's literally it's literally him being very open and very, very direct now about what's going on. The couple that with all of the pictures and stuff he's been sharing, and the way that the internet has been blowing up, and I just think we're in a very good place right now.
Absolutely, Zod. Absolutely. And my movie, Mike, I still say Sasha Kaye, even if the Flash movie is not canon to the Snyderverse going forward, because I think she did a good job in that movie. And anyways, with what you said, Zod, 100%. And I think it's not just this thing alone, mind you. It's the fact that he's posting pictures of the cast slowly, like posting more, because yeah, we got some Sucker Punch, we've got a Rebel Moon picture, but among last photograph, he's posting DC related, his DC stuff. Right? When his buddy released a new Superman movie, that his best friend released a new Superman movie this year, and here he is posting his DC. So, and now telling us to watch it on Max, on HBO Max. Yeah, these name changes are back and forth, confuse me so much. But yeah, and I'm going to make time. I wasn't able to watch it yesterday, and it is a 4-hour movie after all. But I am definitely going to watch the Justice is Gray edition on HBO Max sometime this week, because I want to.
Well, I have it digitally because I no longer have HBO Max, but I will, re-sign up once Zack is back and WB is under a different banner. Hopefully, it's under Netflix's banner, and we can we all have reason to celebrate on that note. But the idea, but like I said, I think regardless, he's he's giving us, he's telling us, this is how Zack does things. This is what he did. This is what he did right up to the time that the Snyder Cut was announced. So I'm noticing the same patterns that Zack is doing. So
That's a really good point, because
I'm not worried about it. It's like Integrity 101 always says, it's inevitable at this point.
yeah, I'm still going to keep the conversation going, but at the same time, but like what also I think Sin Havoc is saying that like HBO Max will be an app within Netflix, kind of like how you have Disney has like all their apps, like their Disney app, their Pixar app, their Marvel app, their Hulu app, their like. I think that's what Sin Havoc is saying.
If Netflix ends up owning it outright, they could just abolish it. They could just abolish it and put everything under Netflix. They could do that. I mean, that wouldn't be impossible. I would actually expect them to do that, since why would Netflix? But I don't know. Netflix might want to still keep the Netflix might want to still keep the WB, keep the WB name for certain things. But I mean, as far as like, streaming and that kind of stuff, I can't see them having a special section for HBO Max and all that. I could see them just like Austin was saying, just putting it under the Netflix banner, because there's really no reason to have a separate HBO Max or whatever. And Netflix honestly has a better interface than HBO Max does anyway.
But, speaking of interfaces, I don't think that Netflix should shut down HBO Max, but hear me out where I'm going with this. I think what they should do is sell HBO Max, not the brand name, not the content, but the interface. They should sell the interface to Paramount, because HBO Max still has a better interface than Paramount Plus, because that keeps crashing all the time. So I say, you know what? Sell that interface to Paramount Plus, make some extra money, and you can take all the content and put it on Netflix. But sell that interface to Paramount so I can watch South Park and Twilight Zone without all the bugs and the crashes, because that's driving me insane right now. But I mean, here's the thing. To me, it doesn't matter. If they do it as an app or they completely abolish it, to me, it doesn't matter. The important thing is that Netflix owns Warner Brothers and that we can still get the Snyder Cut. That's all that matters. Whether they do the apps or they completely abolish it, I don't really care, honestly. The important thing is that Zack Snyder is hinting us to go to watch Zack Snyder's Justice League, Justice is Gray on HBO Max, and well, maybe that's good because their streaming service sucks right now. I know, Austin. I'm just dreaming because I enjoy watching content on Paramount Plus, and I hate that interface. That's all. I'm just dreaming a little bit. But anyways, but back on point. The important thing is that Zack Snyder is promoting us to watch Justice is Gray on HBO Max. So that's what, if you have HBO Max, that's what we need to do. Try to make time. I know it's Christmas time. I know it's a 4-hour movie. I know it's a busy week. And I'm telling myself this too, mind you. Watch it, because that's only going to help Zack Snyder's cause. Because this is exactly what we need. And this transitions us to our last topic. Could this be the Christmas miracle we needed? And I say yes. I think we're going to get our Christmas miracle this week. I don't think we'll get the Snyderverse announcement this month. Or sorry, not this week, this month. I don't think we'll get the Snyderverse announcement this month, because once it's sold, it takes time to build that, right? Even when Zack Snyder screened the Snyder Cut and hinted all this stuff in November, we still didn't get the announcement until May. But just having Warner Brothers sold to preferably Netflix, but any company that gives us the Snyderverse, that's the Christmas miracle we need. Just as long as Saudi Arabia does not tell Zack Snyder he can't use certain cast members. But anyways, Zod, what do you think? Could this be the Christmas miracle we needed?
I think so. I don't have any reason to think that it won't. Like I said, I think it's going to happen regardless. I think regardless of who picks it up, Zack is going to come out on top. And that's going to be good for us. And that's what's important. That's what we want. We want Zack to be able to finish what he started. We want the Snyderverse, and this is the way this is the way it's going to have to happen. This is the only way we're going to get it. So whoever buys it, and like I said, I want Netflix as well, but it doesn't really matter at the end of the day.
Yeah, exactly. And just so people know, I cover all the rumors on my channel, but what I'm rooting for is Netflix buying the entirety of Warner Brothers, like the Warner Brothers streaming and studios. I could care less about the Discovery Global stuff. That could go to Paramount for all I care. That could go to Tubi for all I care. That can go to the Saudis for all I care. But the Warner Brothers stuff, absolutely. I want to see that on Netflix. And oh yeah, absolutely, Austin. We actually covered that earlier. And I'm still rooting for Netflix. I still think it's going to be Netflix, but the point is, we are going to get that Christmas miracle. I know it. And when we hear that Netflix buys Warner Brothers Discovery, or Warner Brothers, I don't care about Discovery Global. That will be the Christmas miracle we needed. But it's funny, Zod. We're talking because when we got the big news that the Snyderverse was dead, basically 3 years ago, Henry Cavill's no longer Superman, that was during Christmas time as well. And that was a very sad Christmas for me because it had just happened, and now we'll have a Christmas time that is happy news. So it's kind of fitting that this happens during Christmas time, honestly.
Yeah.
Because I remember.
Once again, hashtag Mikey was right. That's all I'm going to say.
As he said, and I named a stream last year, Superman is beautiful at Christmas, but this year, the entire Justice League will be beautiful at Christmas. So I think this is the Christmas miracle we need, and hopefully I can spend this Christmas not upset about. Now, my last 3 Christmases weren't like this, but that Christmas in 2022 absolutely was like that because it had just happened. Like, I was doing my Christmas shopping, Zod. I was doing Christmas shopping, having just gotten the news the day before, functioning on 1 hour of sleep because I was so upset. So oh, okay. Well, I don't know what the but is. I get the F part, but I don't get the but part. But anyways, point is, I do think Netflix will get it, but the important thing. Oh, okay. I see now, Austin. The important thing is, I think we're going to get that Christmas miracle we need, and Netflix. Let's do this. Let's get down to business, Netflix, because you are the one I am rooting for. And anything else you want to say before we wrap this up?
Nope.
Now, wrap up coming up. I will say that, we had our Iron Man 3 review we attempted yesterday. We are going to try that again. What format it's going to be in, I don't know. But it'll be in some format that you will see with the 3 of us. So, and then Zod and I are also going to be doing a review of Five Nights at Freddy's 2 next week. So be on the lookout for that. I'm excited. We reviewed the first one. We roasted the shit out of that one. So I'm sure we're going to roast the shit out of this one.
This one will be fun. Yeah.
So be on the lookout for that. But Zod, anything you look out for on your channel?
No, like I said, I'm still in the wrap-up mode with the movie. About to finish it up. Like I said, I'll probably have it done for sure by Christmas. It'll all be ready to go in time for January or February. So I'm hyped. I'm ready to go, and One Punch Dan will soon be available for everyone. So
I cannot wait. And coming up on this channel, you'll see more crime at Christmas time. I'll admit Five Nights at Freddy's 2 doesn't exactly fit that, but it comes out during December, so. And actually,
we'll make it fit.
Oh, I already have one way it's going to fit, actually. So be on the lookout for that. But
Thank you, Sin Havoc, and congratulations to you too, Sin Havoc, because you are a character in the film. So, yes, sir.
But I think we have a lot of exciting stuff to talk about. And, for me, when I talk about the Snyderverse, I'm going to mostly just talk about the Snyderverse. I know there's been some drama stuff coming out, but I'm going to cleanse myself from that because I just want to focus on the happy stuff right now. So if something new happens with the Snyderverse, especially if Zack posts about Ezra, there will definitely be a stream about that. But in general, this month is Crime at Christmas time. So guys, if you like this video, please like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell for more unique takes, interesting thoughts, and great discussions such as these. And on that note, any final words, Zod?
I'm loving the videos. Pow pow.
Have a bat-tastic day.